The truth is that Kenya risks losing its sovereignty because of reckless borrowing to fund corruption. We need to save our country from the looming danger.
People are shouting, but just contemplate a Kenya without IMF support at this point in time. Just contemplate a Kenya without World Bank support at this point in time. If they think this is bad, we would be in fire.
What does fire look like?
The fire? Oh, the fire looks like when all your aid is cut off. You can imagine that.
So I want us to do this analysis shortly about Musalia Mudavadi. You know, I was shocked a little bit when Mudavadi was answering the question of the debt and where Kenya is right now. You know, some Gituku kind of pinned him down. And Nika realized, what? Is this the Mudavadi who once said that in the event you find yourself in a pit and you don't want to see the wrath of what comes when you continue digging the pit, the best option is always to stop digging the pit?
First, Kenya is broke. Let me state the obvious. Kenya is broke. The truth is your truest friend, no matter what the circumstances. So the truth must be told, no matter how uncomfortable it may be to some. I, Musalia Mudavadi, have refused to board the boat of lies. I was never trained to be a liar. I will not begin lying to Kenyans in my ripe age.
I was wondering, is this the one? At the same time, it took me back and I reflected. Is this the Mudavadi who was trying to explain to us the Ruto's bottom-up principle? You remember that time when the bottom-up narrative or, debate was all over. Everybody was coming with their versions. By that time, Mudavadi had not actually sided with William Ruto. He was saying that right now, if Kenya cannot rely on World Bank and IMF, the two lending bodies, okay, we are as good as dead. In fact, he gave a similitude of a person whose head has been cut. So if your head is cut, you are dead. Your head is separated from the body, you are dead. The functionality of every human is from the head. Okay, so according to Mudavadi, Kenya is the lower part of the body, and then IMF and World Bank are the head. So without them, we cannot survive. So it means that Mudavadi is confirming that he has found himself in the pit that he was against when they were campaigning, and this pit, they cannot get away from it, but they are continuing to dig this pit.
Ukichukua chupa ya maji na useme bottoms up na uweke chupa namna hii, sio ni kusema maliza kabisa. If you did this and you say bottoms up, this is the bottom. Mtu anameza kila kitu. Na mwananchi atapata nini? And how are you going to finance this economy? Ya kusema bottoms up. Kwa sababu ushuru pia umegonga wananchi.
So meaning problems are coming on board. Him as an economist, when we get into the office, we will change things. We will turn the tables. We will bring radical measures. We are not going to go for the debt. His hands are tied. Their hands have been tied. So it denotes to you the kind of state that we are in. And they cannot run away from it. They cannot sugarcoat. They cannot, cheat the people. They cannot lie anymore. It is the reality. So every interview that they are trying to, join and make the government have some defense, they have to speak of the reality. There is nothing that they can show. There is nothing that they can make us put our hands on and even try to sympathize with them. Now, having said that, what does that mean? Most of the times, I think in some time back, I used to give a comprehensive analysis about the recipes of a failed state. When you want to talk of a country that is heading to the ditches of failed state, what Mudavadi told us is an exemplary of such a country.
You can imagine that. Your programs grind to a halt. You can not pay your debts. Your assets are being impounded in different countries. That is how bad it can get. You can imagine if Kenya Airways flew somewhere and the planes are being impounded in those countries.
That is the direction that we are in. A country which is falling into the ditches of failed state and being considered in the baskets of failed state is one that relies on external funding, meaning that you cannot sustain yourself just independently. You cannot actually produce anything that you are assured of will make you stand on your own. Yet you still brag that you are in another level, more than TZ, more than Uganda, more than Rwanda. Every leader in our nation is not in tune or in tandem with what even the man of the top wants. The other time I was talking about, are these leaders knowing the exact vision that William Ruto is carrying? Do they know what William Ruto wants to achieve? Do they know what Kenyans want to achieve? Or how can they align the grievances of Kenyans? There is total difference. So if we have been talking every day, the way we do our analysis here, the way political pundits, opinion shapers are coming out, there is nothing to smile about. There is nothing that people can have as optimism with them. So in this case of Musalia Mudavadi, I think it is also confirming one thing that we have been discussing all along. I think Kenyans should say enough is enough, because I was listening to what is now really developing so fast that in 2027 it will be a walkover for anybody who will confront William Ruto or challenge Ruto for presidency. But if Kenyans don't say enough is enough, I think that might be a battle, that might be debatable, because the way William Ruto will ensure that he gets his second term, he will not be seeing things the normal way. Like Mutai Kagwe once said, if we treat the COVID-19 normally, it will treat us abnormally.
These are extraordinary times, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, very extraordinary times. We have seen things that are not normal.